This is an ice cube. This is white spray paint. This is white ice. This right here is the GMMK PRO white ice. It is neither white nor is it icy. White ice. White ice. Spot the difference? Hey, how's it going, folks? It is a lovely day here again in the ghetto, and what better way to spend this lovely day than to once again work on the GMMK PRO. Today I'll be showing you guys how I went from this to this with some good old spray paint. And if you're interested in a giveaway, stick around for a bit. Now, let's get to it. First off, the tools that I used. You'll need your GMMK PRO or whichever keyboard you plan to work on, a can of spray paint of your desired color, and a can of clear coat. I chose semi-gloss. And a variety pack of wet sandpaper. Everything that I use in this video will be listed and linked down in the description below. The first step is to disassemble the board, take it apart. You'll want to remove everything that is attached to the top and bottom case, which means you'll have to remove the acrylic diffusers on the left and right sides of the top case, as well as the daughter board on the bottom case. Once everything is taken apart, you should be left with just a top and bottom case like this. Next up is the sanding. I started off with 200 grit sandpaper, pretty much going in one direction throughout the entire case. Once I've covered up the entire area, I went in the opposite direction, pretty much like a crosshatch. The goal here is to roughen up the case so the paint has something that it can hold on to. And you'll do this process for both halves of the case, pretty much anywhere that you plan to paint. Make sure to be careful when you're sanding around the edges of the case, because you could sand off a bit too much and it gets messy. Once that's all done, wipe down the case with a cloth to remove all the little dust and debris that's left on the case. Now we start painting. Make sure to shake up your spray paint for a good minute, and you'll see here for my first coat I applied a very light coat. And we let it dry for 15 minutes. While that's drying up, we will work on the stabilizers. Today I'm using Duroc V2 stabilizers, and I'm lubing it with Krytox 205G0. Mother... Alright, second coat. I'm a little bit more generous here. I try to apply the paint in a back and forth motion, slightly overlapping 1/3 of my previous coat. So after 4 coats and letting it dry for a whole day, this is how it ended up. Now we're going to look for any blemishes, any bubbles, any runs, all of that. And we wet sand those areas. For me, it was the entire board, so I wet sanded the entire thing. Try to be gentle with wet sanding, as you don't want to sand off too much of the paint. And after that's all done, after it's dried up, we're going to apply another 2 to 3 more coats, and then 2 to 3 coats of our clear coat. Now, back to these stabilizers. Let's see if this will work. That right there is a custom-made FR4 plate for the GMMK Pro. Also, what I'm giving away today. 3 of them. And giveaway details are linked in the description down below. So rather than having you guys watch me apply multiple coats of paint, I'm just gonna skip forward. It's basically light coat, let it dry for 15 minutes, another light coat, dry. And when you're happy with how the paint is, apply 3 or 4 coats of the clear coat and let it dry for 24 hours. Please make sure to let it dry. You'll want to let it dry. And you're probably wondering about the rubber feet. Well, that's easier to deal with than you might think. All you need is some paper towel and it just rubs right off. And I'm just reassembling the board. For this build, I used the new Texi Diamond linear switches. And for the keycaps, I used EPBT Cool Kids. Cause why not? And this is how it ended up. Yeah, I know, I took a big jump there, skipped through quite a bit, but the steps were pretty much the same. The main point of this video is a beginner, myself, showing other people who want to paint how easy it is. And this is the second thing that I've spray painted, the first being also a GMMK Pro. I'll link that video right there. Just have fun with this. And if you mess it up the first time, that's what the wet sand is for. You can just sand it off and do it again. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on that notification bell because I'm pretty consistent with being inconsistent with my posting. And what's a keyboard video without a typing test, right? Thanks for tapping with me, and I'll tap with you guys next time. Toodles!